Imagine if you turned on the TV and every hour 15 people got killed on the streets. We'd be going crazy. Reality is we're losing about 15 people every hour to accidental overdoses. Why aren't we screaming? Why aren't we going nuts? We have to do something, and it's not getting any better.
Like many cities across the nation, its streets are held hostage by drug addiction, its hospital pushed to the brink by deadly overdoses.
Last night, we had a total of about 8 cases of patients who came in with overdose of opiates, of heroin.
You know, as a city official, when your phone rings or your text notification goes off in the middle of the night, it's very, you know it's not good. Never did I think that there would be, you know, that large number of overdoses in one day.
There's people that are there. Some of these young people are just at the end of their rope. They don't know how to get the help. They don't know what to do. They know they need help. They know what they're doing is wrong. They know it's going to harm them. They know it's destroying their family. And they just don't know how to quit. And they don't know where to ask for help.
And we have to get tough on those people. Because we can have all the blue ribbon committees we want. But if we don't get tough on the drug dealers, we're wasting our time. Just remember that, we're wasting our time.
They're using it to escape reality. As they do that, they continue to use more and more drugs to escape their feelings and the other issues that they have. That's how they party now, is having that high feeling. So they just move on to harder and harder drugs, moving up the chain, and that's where we get people using the meth and heroin.
All right, thank you, everybody. We want to be sensitive to everybody's time and would like to get started. This is a community-wide issue that affects all demographics, socially, economically, regionally, and the sooner that that is acknowledged, the sooner we're able to put the resources on the ground. You couldn't hide it anymore. You can't hide it anymore, and you can't spin it. So the best way, to honor, certainly the families who are struggling was to acknowledge that there's an issue.
People who are addicted to drugs, who experiment with drugs or use drugs, don't really realize the ramifications that it can have, not only on themselves, but those around them. It impacts their friends, their family.
What I love about this community is that when there is an issue, when there is a problem, we don't run from it. We acknowledge that there's a problem, and then we decide that we're going to fix it. And then the question is, how do we fix it?
They are coming out here strictly to victimize our community. We're going to come after them. We're going to find them. It's the same message I sent last year. No more in Santa Clarita. We're coming after him, and we're coming after a lot of them.
Because of jail overcrowding and state laws, it often feels like these people are cut loose before deputies are done booking them.
With Proposition 47, Proposition 57, Ep.1, all of these policies that are reducing sentences for predominantly drug crimes, you're putting people back into the streets who haven't been treated for their addiction or haven't been treated for their mental illness, and they are back in all of our communities, including Santa Clarita, committing more crimes.
As the chief of police and the captain of the station, really is looking after all 293,000 residents. For me, all 293,000 residents are like my kids. And working with the deputies out here, that's the way we look at it as a team.
We have to find ways to adjust to this new reality. But a lot of that does start at home.
Our children today, it's different than it's ever been in history because they're connected to their friends, not their parents.
And parents have to be willing, to be in their kids' lives and to make sure they know who their friends are, make sure what they're doing at night.
The The average parent spends between 2 and 10 minutes talking to their kids every day.
My son hates it, but we check his phone. We know who his friends are. We know what he's putting on Snapchat.
Those are some of the things that I use with my daughters in order to make sure that they know there is consequences for them as they move forward if they were to use drugs, if they were to be enticed by their friends to use drugs.
My philosophy is I'm not my kid's friend. I'm your father, and we can be friends when you're an adult, but right now, I'm your father, and we're going to do what we can to keep you safe, to help you make the right decisions.
Having people out there with those drugs and using those drugs in an open community where kids can see it, kids are going to start to think that it's okay. If we don't provide that enforcement and kids start to think it's okay because we don't do anything about it, then it'll slowly become a bigger and bigger problem.
Hi Carrie, this is Jennifer. I'm calling because I relapsed and I've been on the streets for a while, the last 8 months, and I'm pregnant. So this is pretty much like my only hope to get clean. If you give me a call back, that'd be great. Thank you. Bye.
What the fuck happened, girl?
I don't know. I went some pills, and this last year, all of a sudden, I tried heroin and cocaine and the needle, and it went all downhill from there.
Unfortunately, when you overdose on those types of drugs and those types of medications, it can be life-threatening. It can cause you to stop breathing and can cause irreversible organ damage, specifically with the brain.
How pregnant are you? How long?
I just started my second trimester, so 13 weeks.
So you're killing yourself and you're killing your kid, aren't you?
Yeah.
What's really scaring me right now is being involved in this and out fighting this war right now when it comes to substance abuse, is the denial that we have in our community, especially parents when they're saying, not my kid. Well, I think most parents say, not my kid, but it's somebody's kid. I'm doing this for you, but not really. I'm really doing this for that kid inside of you because it deserves a shot of life.
Anything that you do to yourself clearly is going to affect the innocent baby that they're carrying.
Isn't that sad if you really think about what these people have to go through? Yes, they put themselves there, but still, nobody should go through this. We can all see the pain and hurt that she was going through. I mean, you talk about rock bottom. I hope this is her bottom right now. You got a girl that's pregnant, living on the streets, shooting dope.
I was going to 60 to 80 pills a day.
How many?
60 to 80.
How did you live through that? I hear that all the time. But
I forgot. I forgot who I was. I forgot who my husband was at the time. I'm now divorced. I lost my son. And I came out of the hospital and I walked back here where it says emergency, and I just took the clothes that I had and I wrapped it around me and I fell asleep overnight.
She's got a long road ahead of her though. She's pregnant, so her body's going through all kinds of changes. Now you put all the drugs that she's been using in the mix. All the drugs she's using is physically and emotionally addictive. In the next hour or two, she's gonna start hurting. She's gonna get sick. I mean, it's kind of like when you're detoxing these drugs, it's like the flu on steroids times 100. This is your last shot. And your baby's only shot. We're gonna get her to the doctor tomorrow, and then the doctor's gonna have to evaluate how he wants to detox her because she's pregnant. So we have a lot of things in the mix.
We've had, multiple babies who have been born, who are born addicted to heroin, who never even had a chance to make the decisions for themselves, but they're born in this life already addicted to drugs.
I mean, that stuff is terrible, but you want them to remember that. If they don't feel the pain, and the pain doesn't overrule the good that they think they're gonna have by getting that first fix, then we're in trouble. She needs to remember that pain. I need for her to feel that pain.
I want to send a message to those that are providing drugs and illegal narcotics to the residents here in the city of Santa Clarita. No more. We're not going to put up with it. We're here to provide the enforcement against it, and we'll be out there looking for them.